Hi gang, Dr. Ron Capps the Nicheprof. A lot of you are now looking at a familiar look at what Empire Avenue has looked similar to for the last several months. But today they've undergone a change, and I thought I'd like to go over a little bit of that with you. I had another video planned for today, and I may still do it. We're approaching midnight today, otherwise I'll get it up tomorrow. But let's take a quick look. This is the old Empire Avenue that many of you are familiar with. It has your information across the top with a shop, eaves, community leaders, and so forth, and your various profiles that you've connected for your social networking. Now, you had a layout before. Basically put it across like that, and then down below you were able to go in and do monitor your wall, go in and see what had been posted, go on in and take a quick look at your lists and so forth. But with the changes now, your profile now looks like this. And one of the things that I noticed in coming over to the new profile is they automatically were pulling in URL from your profile here. And I would advise you to check the URL they're pulling in, because it may not be the URL you wanted put there. And then all you have to do to change that is go to your profile and change it on your profile. And you can do that by going on in, clicking on my profile. And now that I haven't had to do it for a while, let's see if I can find it here again. Let's go on in and check on home instead of the profile page. And when the home page loads, you'll see that it is more similar to what we had before. And we can go up and we can see here that we have your community, your leaders, your search, your profile. And let me click on that. To edit your profile, then you come on down here, click on edit profile, and there you can change your photo. You can go ahead and change how you're going to be greeted, and you can put in your personal website right there, and that is the one I would suggest that you change. Make it something appropriate to either your branding or to your play on Empire Avenue, would be my suggestion. I'm going to go ahead and save the settings, and then I'm going to go on back to the profile. And we can see that we still have a very similar line going across here, and we still have our share price up here. We now move the community or the index we might belong to over here, and we've also removed communities from the front page. They're no longer here. I believe they're having a formatting issue in this area under interest, because the old interest area is still appearing, and these are coming up very randomized and disorganized on all of the profiles that I'm seeing right now. The other thing you'll notice is your latest achievements are here. Your luxury items will still be here below the graph. You'll notice I am devoid of luxury items. That happens to be an area of the game that I'm not a advocate of. I think it is a glorious waste of eaves and very little return on it. You still have your shareholders, you have your portfolio and information there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at some older notifications I've had. I don't want to trigger these new ones here because I'm been out a bit today and I'm trying to catch up and respond to the ones that I have had. So here's a purchase by Robert Seiden. I'll click on that. I open that in a new tab so I can come back to keep my place in line. And you will see here the information on the person that bought shares in you. You can see their current price. You can get an idea of how long they've been on the avenue. You can see that right now the dividends are extremely small. He's been making some changes and a little bit of climb over the first part of August. Not very active on social platforms, not very active on Empire Avenue. Share price of 14, which is certainly reasonable. At this point, he's not someone that I personally would buy. What I might be willing to do is I might put him out to be a marker. I'll show you how I do that. I would go on in. We would take the line up here from my responses. Once it decides it wants to go ahead and load in, and I would copy it. I would come back over. His name is Robert. This is what I call a marker share. I would go in and I will buy one share, and I will let him know what I'm doing. Essentially, I will say, oh, hi Robert, I'm one of your Empire Avenue investors. This is a marker share invested in when you either joined Empire Avenue or I first became aware of you. I use it to track you for further investments and to be able to recommend you to others. If you are also on LinkedIn, I encourage you to connect with me there too. It's to your advantage to connect your other social platforms, blogs, RSS feeds, ASAP, so we can endorse them and help you to grow your value and presence on eAvenue. Would really love you to take part in Empire Avenue tips, touts, and tutorials, personal community. You should have an invitation I sent to you to join us in your notification list. And I'm going to publish that shout out. And now you see I own one share in Robert, and he owns the block that he just bought me of 115. I forgot earlier I would normally come over here first of all and thank him for his investment. And I'm going to call that a generous investment given his level of share value. And I try to personalize it by including his name if I know it. And I'll post that. Then I will go up and I will copy and I will then go over to my community and I will send them the invitation to join us there. And okay, and then we go on back over. Robert has been sent an invite to join, Robert Seidler. And so what I now have in this area is you can see at a glance their dividend payout. And by the way, as of right now, the P3 plugin that we have been using, developed for Chris Perillo by one of his friends on the Avenue, is not adapted yet to the new format, and it may or may not be. I think we're awaiting word on that. But they do give you your dividend share, and you can do a real quick eyeball calculation there. The other thing you can see readily here without having to go into your portfolio is what they own in you and what you own in them. One thing I don't like about the new change, when you are making a purchase and you go in and you are doing it from the connections page, you do not really have a way to tell at a glance what you said the last time, or a way to go in and modify it. And you would have to be on the front page to be able to do any of that. The other thing I want you to notice is if you ever want to find the connections that people have or the communities they already belong to, you need to come back over through the connections tab and take a look at them here. They're no longer on the front page. So I think that this may be a bit of a mistake. only keeping them here, but I'm sure dupes and the rest will figure that out over a period of time, and it may work out quite well for everyone. The other thing you'll notice is you can manage your list, block users, mute a user, and everything from right here. I'm going to go back over, now that I've taken care of that, to my profile, and you'll notice that they have now incorporated in your blogs into your scoring so that you get a bit of an idea there, and they've retained your network activity here, which is a key element of the game and the strategies that I use. And they've changed the status update a little bit to where you can go in and make a status update. It's more like a shout now. And as you can see, they make it very prominent when you joined. For those of you out there with an eagle eye, today's August 11th. Tomorrow will be my 7th month anniversary on Empire Avenue. So that's a quick look around the Avenue. If you get in and you take a look at things like the leaders boards, they're still essentially the same. When we go on in, you can go in and you can check recent arrivals, and they still are providing you that data. Remember, this data is normally a couple of days old, so be very careful. Weekly earnings is something you want to keep track of. That will tell you who is earning the most money on the Avenue, and they break it down by country. Since I'm in the US, my default is the US, but I could essentially see any country over here if you want to find out, for example, if you live in Bahrain, where you rank in Bahrain. And you can also do globally, which would take into account all of the countries. And the other thing that you try to keep track of is weekly dividends, because this tells you who's paying out the most money to their investors. And that's something that as an investor you need to be aware of. And I published a video in the last day or two breaking down the numbers, behind the numbers on Empire Avenue. I encourage you to take a look at that, and you'll see how to use this data to help you ferret out your better investments. You can also come on in here. You can still do your network scores. You can check on your communities. Very little has changed except for the interface and the profile and the home page. Okay. The next video I'm going to put out is going to talk about indexes, and it's going to talk about what it all means and why they matter. And there may be some of you that want to be in social activism. Some of you may want to be in real estate. You may want to be in tea or teaching, or maybe zombie hunting. We're going to talk about some of the merits in that video about why it is important what index you choose depending upon your motivation, and how choosing the right index and excelling in that index can help you not only on Empire Avenue, but can help your brand across the internet, and how it makes it very easy for other people to help support you and your brand across the internet. And that'll be the next video I do for Empire Avenue, looking at community indexing and the choices that are available to you, and why you might want to make one choice instead of another. Okay, that's Dr. Ron Capps the Nicheprof. We've taken a look at the new interface of Empire Avenue. I've showed you a couple of other tips. Hope to see you on and off the Avenue. And by the way, I did post tonight a link to a poll I'm conducting on Facebook. I would appreciate it if you took the time to go over and answer the poll, and that'll help give me some direction in the types of tools and tips I continue to give you. All right, Dr. Ron Capps the Nicheprof, wishing you all a happy day on the Avenue.